Hello everyone, this is Spliced, and the following footage you're about to see is all the accumulated footage that I managed to get of every new vehicle that has been shown in the test of Halo Infinite's Big Team Battle Beta, or Flight. The three vehicles you are about to see is the Wasp, the Banshee, and the Scorpion. However, there is a massive problem that is currently going on with this beta, and I am making this video in hopes that this will get addressed or solved by the time this game gets released. Currently, as it stands, you will not be able to use these vehicles for more than 5 seconds, if you're lucky. And I know I'm saying that, and I've already been in this vehicle for about 20 seconds now. But what I mean by that is basically these vehicles will only spawn in the last 3 minutes of the match, no matter what. And the whole mechanic is based around the new Pelican vehicle spawning system. The vehicles will spawn at increments of 3 minutes at a time. And every single vehicle, all the way up until the last vehicle that will spawn, is always going to be either a ghost or a warthog. And this, I believe, is not... I refuse to believe that this is an intended feature, because if it is just ghosts all the way up until the very end, then there simply is no point in having these vehicles in the game, because you barely have time to even kill one enemy before the game ends. As you can see in this following footage, I will not be in these vehicles for long, either because either the time is running out, or I die too fast, because these vehicles are also extremely paper-thin weak. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Vehicles are not supposed to be the deciding factor on whether you win or lose a game. It's supposed to be a tool just as similar as a rocket launcher or a sniper. They should not be as overpowered as the Ultra Banshee in Halo 5. Let's not kid ourselves, that vehicle was an absolute train wreck. If you combine that with the Wheelman attachment of, or whatever you want to call it, perk. Armor upgrade, I'd say. Then the vehicle becomes absolutely like a beast, and it's almost impossible to kill unless you're focusing it with your entire team. With these vehicles, though, it's a completely different story, because you barely have to bat an eye and this thing will explode in front of your face. Out of every single game that I have played, I have managed to get the vehicles almost every single time. There's been one, maybe 2 games where the final vehicle spawns and I did not get it, but I did make it a complete and full effort to get these vehicles as much as possible so I could show you guys. Unfortunately, I was only able to gather 2 games with the Wasp, 2 games with the Banshee, and 1 game with the Scorpion. And out of all those games, I only managed to miss the Banshee 1 time. I managed to get the Scorpion 1 out of 1 times that it has spawned, and I managed to get the Wasp 2 out of 2 times that it spawned. I managed to get the Banshee, though, 2 out of 3 times that it spawned. 1 time, as you'll see in this upcoming footage, I did not manage to get it. So what is the huge issue about all of this? Well, it basically just comes down to what is Big Team Battle. Big Team Battle, to me, is the only game mode that you can utilize vehicles in an all-out war with Spartan versus Spartan. In past Halo games, Big Team Battle is the only game mode that allows you to use Banshees, Scorpions, Wraiths, you name it, in a big environment with a whole bunch of enemies and teammates. There are exceptions to some Halo game modes in Slayer, like you played Valhalla on Halo 4 and there was a Mantis and stuff like that. However, you get the idea that Big Team Battle is supposed to be vehicle orientated. In this current state, vehicles are barely present. It is mostly soldiers on the ground, which most people will be fine with. But for me personally, this is what I like to gravitate towards, because I am more of a vehicle type player. I like using all the big weapons, all the big vehicles. It's my kind of thing. I'm not a pro player by any means. I'm not Pingy. I'm not Mint Blitz. I'm not super good at the game. Before I get into anything, I'm going to be showing you guys the following footage of me getting the Banshee right here, and I'm going to let you guys enjoy how much time I spend in it.
To the skies.
Oh my god. What the fuck? It's the
Victory is yours.
Oh wait, what? Oh my. What the fuck? fuck, dude?
So as you guys can see, that is about the average time most players will spend in these vehicles. It's not because the enemies are destroying them or anything like that, simply because the time will not allow you to have these vehicles until the very end of the game. This following footage with the Banshee was me with a little bit more time, allowing myself the ability to actually learn the mechanics of this vehicle. I first switched to a controller because I thought it might be better to use a vehicle with a controller. But I quickly learned that the turn time for the vehicle is very terrible. It might be just my controls setup, but currently as it stands, I was not having a good time using the controller. So in a minute here, I switch back over to keyboard and mouse, and next thing you know, the game ends, and I don't even have any time to test anything with these vehicles. So with that being said, let's get out of the way of the spawn time for these vehicles. Now let's get into the next thing, the armor and damage. So, positive thing, the vehicles do a lot of damage, which is good, and hopefully that was expected because vehicles are vehicles, they should be doing a lot of damage. It's similar to like a rocket launcher, they should be doing a lot of damage. But they have no armor. In comparison to other games who, like in Halo 5 for example, at least the regular Banshee and Wasp had a shield. This vehicle has no shield, no defense, and you can damage yourself by running into walls and ground and shooting the walls and stuff like that. Next clip here before I continue on. This is the Scorpion footage, so please enjoy this footage as well.
Yeah, no way. Oh, Mangoose right on. He just hijacked you. Oh, never mind. I guess he can't do that instantly. Are you recording? This map does not feel like it. Oh my god, you're already dead. That's another one for the compilation. This is so dumb! That's not a tank, that's a fucking... That's not a tank, man. There's no fucking way. That's literally just a fucking... paper tank. Like, what the hell?
So there you have it. That was the total amount of time I was able to accumulate playing those 3 vehicles over the span of 40 plus big team battle matches. As you can see, this is not really a current good state for these vehicles, and before anything moves on, I understand that this is a flight test or beta. The game has not come out yet and it can come out in 2 months, but that is specifically why I want to make this video, because there's a lot of people right now that are currently saying how good Big Team Battle is, and for the most part, every mechanic is working as intended, and the map is beautiful, the combat is fun, there's a lot of players on the field, and in all sincerity, this game mode is a lot of fun. However, this is the main problem with the vehicle distribution that no one is really addressing. I have seen some people in some YouTube comments saying that the vehicles are weak, but as it stands, I think every single Halo YouTuber right now is saying how good Big Team Battle is, and they're praising it for how good it is. But this is a slippery slope, because if everyone's saying everything's perfect, then the game will launch as is, and the game will not have the full potential that it can be at. So I just want to give a little bit of a reality hit for this specific video, because Big Team Battle as it stands is not in a good state, because the vehicles are just not present. And I don't really understand what is the purpose in making all of these different vehicles and different mechanics with these vehicles if they're not even going to show up in the game at all. This is the one game mode. Correct me if I'm wrong if there's going to be another game mode for Halo Infinite, but Big Team Battle is usually the staple game mode for vehicle gameplay. And if this is true, then no vehicle spawning in Big Team Battle is basically Slayer. And I know everyone loves Slayer, who doesn't, but this is the one game mode where it's more than just Slayer, and if they don't do that, then I don't know what to say. So here's the other issue I have with this as well. With the rarity and HP pool of these vehicles, you would think maybe they're super strong, and that's why they spawn at the end of the game. And I would agree with you on the damage part, maybe not so much the defense part, but the huge issue that I'm also seeing is the fact that they're really rare to spawn, but then on top of that, there are now even more counters, I would argue, to vehicles than there are in Halo 5. And by counters, I mean like base game counters, not like the Warzone weapon variants with like the Celine's Lance and all that stuff. That's a whole different story, and that's a whole different game, so we're not talking about that. But in this specific game, there is now, I believe, 3 different ways of EMPing a vehicle. There are many different techniques of hijacking a vehicle and killing the players out of the vehicle, and even killing the vehicle in general. To list off a few, in terms of EMPing the vehicle, plasma pistols currently are not able to EMP a vehicle, and I do not know if this is intended or if it's going to be changed, but as it stands right now in this beta, the EMPs of the plasma pistol no longer can EMP. Sounds like vehicles are pretty OP now. Unfortunately, or not so unfortunately, just in general, there are 3 new ways of EMPing on top of just the plasma pistol. So there are now the grenades, the new electrical grenades that have a huge proximity. They're very easy to use to plasma or to EMP a vehicle. It requires little to no skill to get an EMP off of a vehicle, so they're very powerful. The second one would be the unreleased pistol that has been leaked. There is a electrical pistol that can EMP a vehicle, and the third one is a sniper rifle, a shock sniper rifle that spawns pretty much everywhere on Big Team Battle, in the home bases, I should say. They spawn in the home bases, and even in the 4v4 Behemoth Slayer map, as we currently have the information of. So it's pretty common. It's not super rare of a sniper to spawn, so you can EMP vehicles very easily. So that's the way of EMPing. Now the way to kill vehicles, you have the spike grenades, the plasma grenades, as usual. You have the gravity hammer, which is pretty powerful against the Ghost and the Warthog. You have the spanker, which is the rocket launcher, as usual. I'm not sure if it locks on, but it might, and if it is, then even more powerful there. You have the regular sniper rifle, which against these paper-thin armor of the vehicles can destroy a vehicle no problem. Absolutely destroys it. And you have the new, either it's banished weapons or brute weapons. I do not know which kind it is, but the skewer is apparently, I think it is the replacement for the Spartan laser. And if that's true, it makes sense because it has 4 shots. It fires instantly and it has fall off, but it absolutely decimates vehicles. It is super, super powerful, and I think it actually one-shots a wasp if you shoot a wasp with it. I know it one-shots a ghost. I know it one-shots a mongoose. I'm pretty sure it one-shots a wasp because that thing is really weak. And it might even one-shot a banshee. So you have all these counters to vehicles, and the one new one that is the nail in the coffin for vehicle counters is the grapple shot. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the trailers or even gameplay now at this point. Grappling vehicles is super, super easy, and the grapple is all over the map. It is all over the place. You'll see at least 2 to 3 people with the grapple on each team. It does not require much to hide with a grapple for 1 second. Wait until a Banshee, Wasp vehicle goes by, and then you grapple it, and next thing you know, you're hijacking it. And this is not a bad thing to have in the game. It's a great thing. I really like the grapple shot. It feels good to use. It doesn't feel so great to get grappled, of course, but it's fine. The problem, though, I have is why have all these insane vehicle counters and then on top of it nerf the vehicles and make them really rare to spawn? It doesn't really add up. and this is the problem I'm trying to address so that it gets out there, and hopefully this can get changed before the game comes out, because if everyone says that as the current state of the game is perfect, then nothing will get changed, and we'll have a less than pleasant big team battle experience for those who do enjoy vehicles. I just want to make this wanted to make this a little awareness for everyone. Of course, again, one more time, just going to clarify, this is a beta, so there is potential for it to be changed, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. And also, I do have a couple solutions for anyone who may be watching this that could be on the developer team of 343. Either you make these vehicles spawn way more, and by way more I mean at least every minute and a half to 2 minutes, and in the first 2 minutes I would like to see, you know, a Scorpion or Banshee spawn. Because of their current HP and state that they are in, they don't really have much of a terrifying presence as the other games did. So if you make them spawn more, it wouldn't really make much difference because they get destroyed anyways. And you can replace the ghost spawn with a Scorpion spawn or Banshee spawn. 2, put them in the map at the very beginning on each person's side. So have lighter vehicles like the Chopper, the Ghost, the Rocket Warthogs, maybe even a Banshee or a Wasp. I would actually say a Wasp because they're a little weaker. So you can have a little bit of aerial dominance in the first little bit of the game, but both sides have it, so it's equal. Or B, make the vehicles overpowered, have a lot of HP, and super, super powerful so that that last bit of push in the end of a game can be a deciding factor through vehicles. I'm more leaning towards the first option because I would like to have more fun with the vehicles, but if the intent of Halo Infinite is to have less vehicle gameplay, more Spartan with power weapon gameplay, fair enough, but these vehicles are just useless. There's no point in them being in the game as they are right now. So that's just what I wanted to point out for you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this little informative video. I had to get my opinion out because everyone is saying that everything is great right now, and the way I see it, it just isn't. And I hope that people will see that I wish the best for this game, and I'm not trying to hate on it or anything. I just want my one game mode that I play to be good. That's all. So with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one.